All right, team, welcome back. Forget everything you think you know about boring data training. Today, you're not apprentices, you're data detectives. And we've got a huge case to crack, the 6 legal bases of GDPR. Let's get into it. So here's the deal. Every single time you handle someone's personal data, you're basically at a crime scene. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to make sure everything you do is above board, totally legal. Because let's be real, in the world of GDPR, processing data without a rock-solid reason, that's a serious offense. Now don't panic. You're not going into this blind. GDPR actually gives every good data detective, like you, a special toolkit. It's got 6 essential tools, or what the pros call legal bases. If you can master these, you'll be able to solve any data case that lands on your desk. All right, you ready? Let's open up this toolkit. Okay, first things first. We're gonna start with the tools you'll probably be reaching for almost every day in your detective work. Think of these as your go-to gadgets: consent, contract, and legitimate interests. Let's get a closer look. First up, we've got consent. I like to call this your official permission slip tool. It's all about getting an explicit yes for one specific thing. And this is super important, it has to be an active yes. We're talking no more of those sneaky, pre-ticked boxes. People have to actually opt in. Oh, and here's the kicker. Withdrawing that consent has to be just as easy as it was to give it in the first place. Next up in our kit is what we call contractual necessity. This is your get the job done tool, plain and simple. You pull this one out when you absolutely, positively need to process someone's data to deliver on a promise, a contract you've made with them. It's super practical, no nonsense, and it's all about holding up your end of the bargain.
Okay, detective, time for a little pop quiz. Let's see if you're paying attention. A customer just bought this awesome new gadget from your company's website. You've got to ship it to them, right? So, which tool do you pull out of your kit to legally handle their home address?
Yes, you got it. It's contractual necessity, of course. You made a deal, they paid for something, and you need their address to fulfill that contract. It's really as simple as that. Boom, case closed.
All right, our next tool is a little trickier. It's called legitimate interests, but I call it the balancing act. This is when your business has a really good, valid reason to process data, as long as it doesn't stomp all over someone's privacy rights. So, for example, if someone buys a new phone from you, it makes sense that you might want to market a cool phone case to them, right? That's a legitimate interest. But, and this is a big but, they have to have a super clear and easy way to say, no thanks, and opt out.
So you might be wondering, what's the real difference between consent and legitimate interests? They sound kind of similar. Well, it all boils down to one thing: control. With consent, the user, the person, holds all the cards. They have to give you that explicit yes. But with legitimate interests, the business is more in the driver's seat. You have the power, but with that power comes a huge responsibility to be fair, transparent, and always provide an easy way out. Okay, so we've covered the everyday tools. Now let's get into the more specialized gadgets. I call these the official business clues. You'll use these when the law or some kind of public duty comes knocking. This next tool, it's completely non-negotiable. It's called legal obligation, or my favorite, the law says so tool. You use this when, well, the law literally requires you to process data. For instance, your employer has to keep your payroll records for tax purposes. It's not a choice, it's not a suggestion, it's a legal command. And next, we have the public task tool. This is your for the greater good tool. Now, this one is mainly for public bodies. Think of your local council, government departments, schools, that kind of thing. They can process your data when it's necessary to do their official jobs. Things that are in the public's best interest, like providing essential community services. All right, detectives, we have one tool left in the kit. And honestly, this is the one you hope you never ever have to use. It's reserved for only the most serious, the most urgent. We're talking life or death situations. This is vital interests, and it is quite literally your break glass in case of emergency tool. You only use this to protect someone's life. Think about it. A paramedic finds an unconscious patient. They need to access medical records to check for a deadly allergy. In that moment, getting consent is impossible, but processing that data is absolutely vital to save a life. It's super rare, but incredibly important. So there you have it, your complete GDPR detective toolkit with 6 powerful legal bases ready to go. But just having the tools is one thing.
Knowing exactly which one to use for each case, well, that's the mark of a true data detective. So let's walk through the process. Look, cracking any data case really just comes down to these 3 simple steps. You can do this every time. First, identify your purpose. Ask yourself, why do I actually need this data? Be specific. Second, determine the best basis. Look at your shiny new toolkit and pick the one tool that fits that purpose perfectly. And third, and you cannot skip this, you have to document your evidence.
That last step, it's everything. Seriously, documenting your chosen legal basis and exactly why you chose it, that's your proof. It's like the case file you present to the judge that shows you acted responsibly, you are thoughtful, and you are totally legal. It is the key to proving you solved the case correctly, and it's a huge part of GDPR. So, why does any of this matter? Why are we spending all this time on it? Because being a good data detective isn't just about dodging massive fines, although that's a pretty good reason. It's about building trust with your customers. It's about protecting people's fundamental rights. And it's about creating a safer, more transparent workplace that you can be proud to be a part of. Bottom line, it's the law. So you're now officially equipped. You've got the toolkit, you know the procedure, there's only one question left. As you step out into the world as a newly minted data detective, what's the first data case you're gonna crack? Go out there and show them what you've learned.